Hello everyone, my name is Connor, and today we're going to be taking a look at Alfred, an application on the Mac operating system which acts as a replacement for Spotlight. To download the app, you head over to alfredapp.com, and there is a free version and there's also a paid version via a power pack. So this is a piece of freemium software which allows you to have a couple features that are really essential for free for you to test it out and see if you like it. And then if you really do like it, the Power Pack is an obvious upgrade, which costs £17, and in today's currency exchange market, that's about $25 USD. In addition, Alfred also has a remote application for iOS, but that will not be part of the review. And a thing to point out is that even if you buy the Power Pack, the remote application is still another $5, which is something that I'm kind of really against because the price of the Power Pack is a little bit pricey, especially being that you do not get the remote for iOS. However, with that being said, Alfred is by far my favorite application, a third-party application on the Mac OS X, and it really has saved me so much time, and all of the pro features on top of that have become part of my everyday workflows. However, we're going to take this video and break it up into three parts. There are actually going to be three different videos. The first video, we're going to look at Alfred 2 for Mac, the free version and the free version only. In addition to the free version only, we're also going to be looking at how to set it up and my optimal tips and tricks. In addition to that, I'm going to make a third video which includes the Power Pack, custom workflows, and all of the really in-depth features that Alfred 2 brings to the Mac operating system. Once you download and install the free version of Alfred version 2, you'll be presented with three main options under the General tab on Alfred Preferences. The first option is to allow Alfred to automatically start at login. I completely suggest to turn on Alfred at login, and it's mainly because even if this is your first time using Alfred, it's a good idea to start migrating away from Spotlight and towards Alfred. So to do that, the first step is always having Alfred on. The second step that I like to recommend is replacing the Spotlight hotkey with the Alfred hotkey. So to do that, we're going to go ahead and open System Preferences. And within System Preferences, you'll see the Spotlight tab in the top right, directly to the penultimate of notifications. Within the Spotlight tab, you'll be able to see that you can search Spotlight with a keyboard shortcut. Normally, this shortcut is turned on by default, and its shortcut by default as well is Command Spacebar. So I suggest that you turn the shortcut off and keep it in the Finder window if you ever need to use it. The last option you'll be presented with is to declare your location within Alfred Preferences. You should declare your location especially if you're out of country, because Alfred integrates with other web services which will allow you to search at those web services with those domains. For instance, if you were in Canada, you would use google.ca instead of google.com. Now we're going to go ahead and hop into the Features tab. On the default results page, you'll see the essentials, extras, and the search scope that Alfred will be using. Now, keep in mind that as many things that you can have turned off, the better, because the faster Alfred will be able to search. However, also, you want to keep all the things that you would think you'd ever need to pull up via the Alfred tab. So let's go ahead and look at some of the essentials. Contacts, if you think that you'd be able to want to pull up contacts. I, however, do not. I do not use Safari, so you can't import the bookmarks through Alfred with any other search engine but Safari. And that's just because of the way how Mac storage works for the bookmarks. And then there's also Preferences, which include System Preferences and Alfred Preferences and all the System Preferences panes. I do highly suggest including that. Now, in default, the folders will be turned off. I do suggest turning folders on because I search for folders rather than documents all the time. And that's something that I do think that they should also have turned on in default. If you have a lot of images, I highly suggest turning those off. And any type of archive files, I highly suggest turning those off too, because those can be surfaced through the documents or folders if you have those engaged. If you have a lot of text files, again, turn those off, but I don't, so I keep them on, and I access documents regularly, so it's very helpful. Now, the unintelligent searches all file types, and you definitely do not want to turn that on. It's going to really slow down the search. Within your search scope, you can add more of the higher level system files, so you can go ahead and search those. But the ones that Alfred comes with default are pretty good. And if you ever want to set back to default, you can do that at the bottom. Now once we go ahead and look in the file search, we can go ahead and see a couple key terms and hotkeys that'll engage in certain tasks for us. So to open any type of file, you can say open and then the file name and it'll automatically open the specified file. Let me give you an example. So you just go ahead and type that in, and it'll automatically pull that up. You don't even have to actually type in open in this instance. You can just go ahead and start typing in an essay prompt. And then a great feature within Alfred is I do not have to use the arrow keys to go down like I would in Spotlight. Instead, I can use Command and then the number that is sitting right next to the result that I'd like to pull up. You can also preview files within Alfred as well by tapping the Shift key, and then I don't even have to run any applications. My number one feature that I like about Alfred is how it's integrated into the web. So unlike Spotlight, I can actually perform Google searches, search map directories, translate, all sorts of integrations with different web services and web products, which is just absolutely excellent. However, there's really nothing you really need to configure here. I just want to take you to this page just so you can see what you can search for, and you can disable things if you don't use services, such as I never use ask.com or Bing or Yahoo, so I'm just going to go ahead and disable those to make things a little bit faster. Now, within the calculator and dictionary, about nothing needs to be changed there. The contacts I turn off because I don't necessarily really, pull up contacts in my computer, so it's one more thing that can just go ahead and make Alfred a little bit faster if you disable it. Alfred's clipboard function is incredibly powerful, and you can access the clipboard by pulling it up via clipboard. You just type it in, hit enter, and then you have all of your clipboard snippets here. Another way to access it is by enabling Alfred once, and then depending on the hotkey that you have, you can access it with a certain hotkey combination. The hotkey that I have set up is Command-Option-C, and you can change that within the clipboard settings here. The first thing that it's asking you how you'd like to configure is how long would you like your clipboard history to maintain, and I have it for 7 days, so everything that I copy and paste is saved within there for 7 days, and I can re-access that if I'm trying to either merge clips or pull clips from the past. So as long as you have this feature enabled and you understand how to navigate to get there, you can quickly see how it can become very useful when you're copying, a lot of quotes or large sums of information for an essay. Within the iTunes, I have everything turned off, and that's mainly because I don't use iTunes as my music program, although Rdio and Spotify are both supported within Alfred's Pro version via workflows. And then under System, it's just important for you to understand what abilities you actually have with Alfred to control your computer's system. You can do all the options that you have within the Apple menu in the top left just by typing things in. So for instance, if I wanted to pull up the trash, I could type in trash and it'll show my trash folder just like that. Then you can do other things like log out, sleep, restart, etc. And then within here, it's just asking you whether or not you'd like to confirm things. In addition to that, Alfred also has a terminal line, open command line prompt accessing. All you have to do is use the less than symbol, or greater than symbol, excuse me, and type in whatever terminal command you want to use.
Hello.
Voila. And the last thing that you want to set up before you start using Alfred is you'll just want to choose a theme and then also select what type of font is good for you and a couple other options that they have in terms of window blur and where Alfred's displayed on the screen, etc. In addition to that, the advanced tab, everything in there is pretty much you can figure out by yourself. The remote is an iOS feature, so if you don't have the supported iOS remote application, this is not useful for you. This is where you upgrade for your power pack. This shows usage statistics about how much you use the application, and then you can turn on automatic update within this tab here. So that's the conclusion of the setup and initial tour of Alfred. After this, I'll be showing you my favorite tips and tricks to become a pro user in Alfred, and then in our third video, we'll be talking about the expansion pack and all of the features that are integrated within workflows, how to create custom workflows, and some of my favorite workflows. So if you have any questions, please comment below and like and subscribe this video.